Hello, my name is Janiyah Downing. I am one of the Associate Directors of Admissions here at Purdue University Undergraduate Admissions Office. In this video, we're taking a behind-the-scenes look and explaining the admissions process. So okay, you send us your application, what's next? Once you hit the submit button, your application along with any supporting information that you may have submitted on your behalf, letters of recommendation, for example, they will match up in cyberspace and be delivered to our application system. Once the application is complete, you will see on your application checklist that all required items have been received. And at that point, your application goes through an initial review. I should mention that right around our November 1 early application deadline, there's often a lot of anxiety, worry about whether or not your application was completed in time. So we've actually added a message directly to the application portal. Shortly after November 1st, all freshman applicants who met the deadline will see the confirmation message when they log in to check their application status. So what is the initial review? Well, first we confirm that what the system is telling us is true. Primarily, we're looking to confirm that your application really is complete and that you've met our minimum criteria for admission consideration, like the minimum high school coursework requirements, for example. It's during this review that we may notice things like an applicant who didn't provide a complete list of their senior year courses, or we may come across some unclear information. If this happens, we'll contact you to get the necessary information as soon as possible. Once your application clears the initial review, it moves on to a second review, more commonly called committee review. The Purdue Admissions Committee is made up of about 30 people, and all of us review applications. You should know that all applications are reviewed by actual living, breathing people. We don't have automated systems. In fact, if you visited campus or talked to a Purdue representative at your high school or a college fair, it's likely you met a member of our committee. We wrap up most of our high school visits and college fairs in early November and return to campus so we can start evaluating your applications as soon as possible. The way this committee works at Purdue is that we have teams who concentrate on applications for specific Purdue colleges. So it's not like all 30 members are reviewing all applications. Our teams specialize. They know what it takes for students to succeed in majors or colleges to which they have applied, and they know how competitive the overall application pool is for that program. In their evaluation, the admissions committee is answering two primary questions for each application. First, is this student academically prepared to succeed in the major they want? If the answer to that is yes, we move on to the second question. And is this student a competitive candidate in the context of the entire applicant pool for this program? So, committee review is when we re-review your academic credentials, read your essays, and read your why Purdue and why this major answers. We also look at other information you may have provided as part of your application. Letters of recommendation, for example. This is a stage of the process where we sometimes need to make difficult decisions. Some of our programs receive way more applications for qualified students than they can accommodate. These are applicants for whom the answer to the first question is yes. We do believe they are academically prepared to succeed in the program they want. But now we have to consider the overall pool of applicants, all the students who have applied to the same program, and make those tough decisions based on the space each program has. This is one of the reasons we want you to choose a first and a second choice major on the application. If you're a good student who can succeed at Purdue, we want to be able to consider you for a different major if we cannot admit you to your first choice primary major. That way, if you have additional academic interest and really want to be at Purdue, a backup plan is built into the application itself. If we can admit you to your first choice, that's what we'll do. But if we can't, your application will be evaluated again for your second choice by the admissions committee that specializes specifically in reviewing that type of application for that program. When we're evaluating your application, we do something that is called holistic review. This is a fancy college admissions term that simply means we consider all of the information you provide and make a decision based on the context of you as an individual. For example, we know that some schools have way more AP or honors classes, dual credit and international baccalaureate courses than other schools. So some students just don't have the same access to these as others. We also know that some students have responsibilities at home or work that may limit their ability to participate in a number of school or community events and activities. When we're reviewing your application, we get to know your background, your context, so that we can make our decision based on your individual circumstances. That's what holistic review is all about. Once the committee decision has been made on either your first or second choice major, the application moves on to a final review. In this review, the most senior level members of the admissions committee will evaluate other committee member decisions and either confirm them, or if they notice something that was missed, send them back to the committee so that they can reevaluate and possibly change their decision. Going back to committee doesn't happen very often, but it's a good final check to make sure nothing was overlooked. Once the committee's decisions are final and confirmed, your application is staged for release on the designated release date so that you can review your decision and decision letter within the application portal. We set our application deadlines well in advance of our scheduled release date so that can give your application the individual attention it properly deserves. Around the same time that the admissions committee is evaluating applications for admissions to Purdue, scholarship committees and the Honors College are also evaluating applications. For scholarships, there are committees evaluating students for university-wide scholarships, which are those that are awarded regardless of your major or college. There are also scholarship committees within specific colleges that are reviewing applicants to their programs for their specific scholarship dollars. In the Honors College, the selection committee is evaluating the applications of all students who answered the Honors College questions on the admissions applications. These committees have access to all of the information you provided when you applied to Purdue, and except for those scholarships that have very specific criteria, are also taking a very holistic approach to their evaluations and decisions. So that's what's going on behind the scenes at the Purdue Office of Admissions. We hope that by knowing a bit more about how this process works, it'll ease any anxiety you might be feeling as you wait for your decision on your application. Just know that real people are looking at your application, and we're looking at it at least 3 times. We want students who have a desire to learn and who can succeed at Purdue. If that's you, we want you to be a Purdue Boilermaker. Thank you so much for watching. Do you have any suggestions for future videos? If you do, leave them in the comments below. With that, boiler up and hammer down.